2007. And I help agents, I help salespeople have no broke months. And as an agent, I've had no broke months since 2008. April 2008 was the last month that I have had zero closings. And so I've had a lot of really, really cool things that I've done in my career, including owning brokerages and title companies and other types of joint ventures and writing and authoring a book. If you haven't gotten it, by the way, Real Estate Evolution, your 10-step guide to CPI, which is a consistent predictable income. But of all the things that I've done that I'm most proud of, it's the fact that I've had no broke months. If you're curious about how I've had no broke months, well, you're about to be a part of that, because what I've done simply is for 5 days a week, for 1 to 3 hours each day, I've looked for business. It's that simple. I have done that for almost coming on 20 years now. And so every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to open my world up to your world if you want to join me. And I will, demonstrate to you live, making phone calls. Some of these will be cold calls. Some of them will be follow-up calls. Some of them will be sellers. Some of them will be buyers. I'm also happy to take requests as well, as long as I have something, so if I have a list ready to rock and roll. All right. All right. So with all that, I'm going to jump right into this. While I get my systems up and running, somebody else tell me something good. You guys were sharing some good stuff. I'd love to hear from somebody else while I get myself sorted here. Who else has something good? I'm opening up my CRM right now. Go ahead.
It's not necessarily having something good. I was just going to pose a question to everyone based on the current changes. Well, to me, it's no change, but to a lot of individuals with what's going on with the lawsuit, how are you guys maneuvering through the many different forms and changes on your end?
Do you mean in relation to getting paid commission?
In relation to the new changes that the MLS and the brokerage has come out with the new forms to ensure that you're getting paid, yes, the compensation, how are you guys all handling that change?
So I don't even ask if there's compensation. I just build it into the price. Like I'll build my commission into the offer.
Got it. Okay. I like that. I mean, so just like you, I've been licensed here for 17 years now, and I've never worried about commission. But I know a lot of agents are concerned because, they may have approached things a lot differently over the years. So I guess those are the individuals I would want to hear from. Anyone?
Well, with that, hello, Rocky Smith. This is Mary Smith. Who the hell's Mary Smith? That's got to be your daughter-in-law or somebody, or your sister. Hey, there you go. You changed it to Rocky. Who's Mary? That's not your name, Rocky. Your name's not Mary, is it? No, I can't see your lovely face. All right. Well, anyways, hello. Oh, go ahead, Rocky.
Hi. It's my given name. I do not use it because there are thousands and thousands of Mary Smith.
I imagine there are. I just found something out about Rocky today. Her name is Mary. I never knew that.
It's must have been a secret.
Hello to my thousands of fans. If anybody wants to know Rocky's real name, it's Mary. It's a secret. Let's keep that between you and I, please.
You're evil.
All right, good to see you. Going back to hello, and then we're going to jump out. We're going to make some calls. For those of you that are concerned about, how you're going to get paid, your commissions, etc., I think that Matt Menshew gave us a great answer. I think Aloha led us on that really well also, which is I'm not worried about it. Right? Like I'm doing business as usual. Bake the compensation, and I would prefer to call it compensation rather than commission. because it's representative of what you earn from the efforts that you provide. And so I baked the compensation into the deal. I've taken a few listings over the last couple of weeks. I've represented a few buyers over the last couple of weeks. And with the buyers I represented, I put it in as a subsidy for the seller to pay. And with the sellers that I've represented, I've put it in for the for them to not offer compensation, but rather wait to receive offers and negotiate the subsidy when it comes in. Interesting enough, on every side of the deal for me personally, this is crazy. I have almost increased my compensation 30% over the last 3 weeks. And I have also saved my buyer or my sellers on the compensation paid to buyer's agents about 30%. How's that work? Well, I think there's a lot of agents that are unskilled in negotiation. And if you're unskilled in negotiation, you probably want to be able to become a part of a community that can, like the CPI community, to help you learn how to come to negotiate. Because I think for those of us that know how to negotiate, we're going to make more money, and that's just the simple truth. Yes, sir. Go ahead, and I want to get started.
So I sent you it. That wasn't my idea. So if you don't know who Ricky Carruth is, you should definitely find out. He definitely has a lot of great ideas. He was with Remax. He's a super broker, and now he's with EXP. But I sent you a text message with a screen grab of what he what he sent out in his email. He was like, "Pro tip: don't contact every listing agent asking what they're offering and seller concessions." Big waste of time, big time waster, he says. But I can forward you that email, Dan. It's just like everything he does. Like this guy sells a lot of houses, and that's who I gravitate towards, people who are just killing it.
Well, I'm grateful that you're here as well. Bake it in, and I have received, I don't know how many calls and texts on my listings from agents, and what I keep telling the agents is present your offer, include whatever proposed compensation that you're desiring, and include that in the offer as a subsidy. Would love to be able to work with you. Thank you for considering, our my client's property. That's it. That's my answer. I was cutting and pasting that about 17 times this past weekend. And so I have been getting a lot of inquiries, but also consider if you're working with a listing agent, particularly one that's doing a lot of business, a listing agent is not going to be available to answer your phone calls, right? Like now, I'm grateful for every single buyer's agent who is showing my properties and for the inquiries that they're presenting, but ultimately I can't have every single one of those conversations, so I just send that text, "Hey, please submit your client's best offer, and would love to work with you. Feel free to include any compensation in the agreement or in the offer, and we will consider it." All right. With all that being said, I went way too long, 10 minutes in, and I haven't made a phone call yet. So let's make some phone calls. All right. So today I'm going to call some age expireds. Before I call the age expires, I'm going to go through a couple of my list here. I'm going to go ahead and open up KV Core first. That's going to be my first list. I'm going to go through, see if I have any new leads from KV Core. These are typically coming in from advertisements that we're doing on Facebook and other social media type things. I'm opening up my KV Core right now. Here, I'll share my screen with you. Let's see here. I don't think there's contact information when I'm sharing here. Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. Let me share my screen. Let's see here. Which one is it? It's going to be Drew. I don't know which one it is. Hang tight. Oh, there it is. It's this one here. All right. All right. So this is what I'm calling from right here. So you can see, I've got, it looks like I haven't had any leads in the last couple of days. So Luciana, I got a phone call there. Francesco Terry, I've got a phone number there. Let's see. Kathy, I can call her. So just sort of showing you like who I'm calling. I'm going to stop screening this here in just a second because I don't want to share their phone information. But Steven, that's a week ago. So let's go ahead and hit this list up here real quick. Won't take me too long, and then we'll go into the next. So first call I'm making is going to be to Luciana. Luciana's viewing some homes here in Arlington, Virginia. And let's give her a call, see what happens. You'll notice as I'm calling, oh, one last thing. Last week, I had gotten 5 leads for those of you that were a part of my last week. I'm going to do this every single Wednesday live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. For those that joined me for my live cold call. So I want to give you an update on where those are. So last week I got a $2.3 million listing lead. And I talked to him a couple times throughout the week, and it was his sons that he was. He said his sons were too busy to sell the property, and they ended up deciding not to sell. I guess the sons didn't want to sell, the dad did, so that's the deal with that. I got another one who is selling one condo and buying a multifamily. That's Bobby, and I'm in the works with Bobby. We're looking at multifamily units right now. I've got one, Nick and Brooke, who that's a little bit of a long term. He got a promotion, and Brooke looks like she's getting he got a raise. I think Brooke's getting a new job. So they're on a little bit of a delay for probably around 2 months or so. And then Laverne, I didn't get any follow-up with Laverne. So she's a little bit MIA right now. So maybe we'll give her a call today, see if we can resurrect her. So, all right, with all that, that's just want to give you an update. It took me 49 minutes is what I lead generated for last week. Right now it's 1:13 p.m. Eastern time. So you're going to get 47 minutes of lead generating today, and let's see what we can get in 47 minutes. Okay, so I'm dialing the number, it's ringing. There we go. I realized last week when I was pulling my phone away a little bit, you guys couldn't hear. So I will keep my phone to my speaker.
Hello.
Hello, Luciana?
No.
No. Oh, is this my name's Dan. I'm a local real estate agent. Are you looking at homes for sale?
Uh,
Not.
just checking, but not. I'm her mother.
Oh, you're her mother. Okay.
Yeah, she was just checking.
Okay.
I have the number, so when we decided to rent something, we can call.
Okay. So you're thinking to rent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your timetable of when you think you're going to rent by?
I don't know, maybe by the end of the year.
By the end of the year. Okay. All right. Would you, just out of curiosity, would you buy if you could?
Mm, I call, okay?
Say again?
I call when we decide to trade, okay?
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. But I was just asking, would you buy if you could instead of rent?
Uh, mm, well, could be a possibility.
Okay.
It's better paying something that in the future will be yours. It's better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing this. I know it's not the time to buy right now or to rent. But I wouldn't mind setting up like a quick phone call. We could schedule it over in the next week or so with you and your daughter, and we could just sort of talk about options. And then that way, you know all your options when you're ready to buy or when you're ready to rent. I know it's not time, but I wouldn't mind doing that.
I don't know because my daughter start school next week.
Okay. You want to schedule?
Number I can call.
Okay.
We're ready to. Okay.
All right. Well, I don't mind that. Why don't we do this? I'll follow up with you like maybe a couple weeks or a month or so. Would that make sense to you?
Right.
Okay. Good to talk to you. All right. Bye-bye. Nara, that's about the conversation we discussed earlier today, right? I didn't get it, but but that's it right there, right? Okay, I thought I was going to get her for a phone call or for a scheduled phone call, but I did not. All right, so that is, let me put some notes here in my CRM. Give me 2 seconds because I actually have 2 CRMs. One that's actually mine, and I mean they're both mine, but one's KV Core. I don't work out of KV Core. I'm just house my leads there. So hang tight. Let me go over to what was her name? Luciana. Yeah, let me make sure that's the right one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and 571 dot 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 dots. Okay, that's her. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in my notes real quick. Wants to rent at the end of the year, might consider buying. And the key question I did there was, if you could buy right now, would you? So typically that's gonna sort of get out your objections, put them on the floor for you. I didn't really get a lot from that conversation. It was a little bit rigid. I wasn't really in rapport with her. Maybe a little bit of a language barrier. And maybe I should have slowed down. Maybe if I wasn't presenting right now, I would have been more I was more worried about being connected to you than her. So I'll make that change for my next calls. I'll be more concerned about them than you. All right. So am I considering buying? Okay.
Hey,
And
Dan.
then, yeah, go for
Dan.
it. Yeah.
So I this is what I do a lot of times if I detect somebody might speak a different language than I do. Because a lot of times culturally that makes more sense to them than someone that speaks Spanish. I would say, hey, I got one of my brokers that works in my office that speaks Spanish. Would you be more comfortable maybe discussing with them? I've used that before, and then I'll do a referral off of it because I found that out, and like the Spanish community is like it's kind of hard to break into. I've done it before, but I've had more luck with referrals when I see that.
Yeah, and thank you for that. That's great advice. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one. Terry is, and this is I'm still in my KV core. And I agree with Matt on that. And I'm not entirely sure there was a language barrier there. It was just because she seemed to be okay with it. I was definitely going a little bit fast though. I gotta slow myself down, or at least be connected with them.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Terry, hey, this is Dan Rochon, local real estate agent. I was calling because I see that you were searching for some homes online, and I just wanted to touch base with you. I got one that you might be interested in. Give me a call or send me a text, 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. And you can call or text me. Thank you. Bye now. All right. That was the third reach out to that person. So I'm going to get them over to my ISA. I'm taking notes as I'm going through here. ISA stands for Inside Sales Agent, in case if you're wondering. Next one's called Kathy. Again, I'm going through my KV core leads right now. These are all leads from online leads from property advertisements. And you can sort of see the pace that I'm going at, even though I'm slowing down because I'm talking to you guys. Still sort of a rapid pace. I'm still like on my third or fourth call, one conversation. Challenge with this is a lot of these calls all going to be voice messages. And, that's just a piece of the game, right? So you just have to understand that majority of who you're calling is going to be, going to be voice messages. And then the calls that you get, some will be good, some will be bad, but
504 is not available.
Kathy, hi, this is Dan Rochon. My phone number is 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. I'm a local real estate agent. I see that you're searching for homes online, and I wanted just to touch base with you. I've got one. It's not on Redfin or Zillow. You may be interested in it. Give me a call back if you could, 703-346-2776. Thank you. Bye now. Okay. Did I go on mute when I hit the button there? When you guys, all right, yeah, I wanted to make sure because I don't want to share their information out publicly. All right, couple things there. Just notate in my script, local real estate agent. I sort of slow down in my hey, it's Dan Rochon. I give my phone number twice. Once I give it slow and once I give it fast. 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. Call or text me. So I say call or text me, because some people don't want to call you, and that's fine. And then I leave the conversation with I think we decided last week it was a homophone, which is bye now. And so that's my and when I'm saying bye now, I'm not actually saying bye, adios. I'm saying bye now. All right. And so that's a little bit of a neural linguistic programming hypnotic trick there. Not trick, excuse me. Hypnotic technique there. Trick has a bad vibe to it, right? So we're not going to say trick. That is a technique. All right. Let's see here. Let me go through. I'm going to go through my last week of leads. I think I have one. Luciana's on there. Luciana's been on there a few times. Susan's on there. So it looks like I got Susan, Luciana, and Vanessa to call from this bucket, and then I'll move on to another bucket. So hang tight here. All right. So we're going to call Steven next. And again, Steven, same deal. He is a KV core lead from a property advertisement. He looks like he works for Comcast. I won't probably shouldn't give you too much more information, but I know that from his email there, and it also looks like he may do some sort of financing or something. And it looks like I also have a hello, Steven.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, this is Dan Rochon. I'm a local real estate agent. Yeah, sure. I was calling because I see that you were looking for some homes online, and I was just calling to see if you're in the market to buy a home.
Florida. We talked a long time ago.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay. Did you sell it?
Yeah, by myself in 2 days.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. And so you're buying in Florida now.
Already have.
Mm. Well, good news. Good news. So what parts of Florida are you in?
In Vero Beach, I just checked to see what they're selling for, and I get a seller's remorse saying I should have waited.
Listen, if you bought another house, you've got the equity in the new one, so you'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah. And well, congratulations. I'm glad it worked out really easily for you.
Yeah, there's one pending in my neighborhood. I check every day to see what they sold it.
Well, I'm curious. Yeah, do you have any of your other neighbors from your old neighborhood that may want to sell?
I don't know them anymore because new people are coming in now.
Mm. All right. Well, listen, will you keep me as a resource for anybody in the local area up here that may want to buy or sell if you come across somebody?
Sure.
All right, Steve, I appreciate the conversation.
Okay.
All right. God bless you. Bye. Okay. So, would you say that was a successful call or an unsuccessful call? Nara says successful. CC says so-so.
Yes.
And
You
what would
tried.
you say? Why would you say that was a successful call? Or what would cause you to say that rather?
You planted that seed that if
Okay.
they know anybody, they reach out to you, even though
Okay.
he already made a
Fine.
sold his
Yeah.
property.
I play the rapport game on my conversations. I don't play the hire me game. And I think too many agents play the hire me game. Okay. So for me to define a successful call is, did I have a conversation where I was in rapport with the other person? Yes or no? And if the answer to that is yes, I say it was a successful call. If the answer to that is no, then I say it was an unsuccessful call. So it's about gauging the conversations differently than I think what many other agents gauge them on. So if you notice, my only intention right now is to have a conversation. That's it. Now, once I have a conversation, then my only intention is to identify a need. And if I identify a need, then my only intention is to be able to move them along in the process to eventually get the appointment. And when I say eventually, I'm not talking like eventually 2 weeks. I'm talking eventually on that call, if possible. Right. So certainly if we would have went to a need, I would have been able, I would have went for the appointment for sure. Does that make sense to you guys? It's like have the conversations, be inclined, be intentional, have the conversations first. Be in connection with somebody, have rapport with them. Oh, hey, by the way, I got a suggestion for everybody. I just remembered. I wanted to make a suggestion. You guys, can I make a suggestion for you? A personal development suggestion that a friend shared with me earlier today? I'm going to ask that every single one of you consider to journal each day. And so that friend that suggested that to me, she wanted to inspire others to do that, and I told her that I would pass along that great advice. That friend's Nara, by the way. She's right here, smiling. And so I had coffee with her earlier today. And so, anyways, Nara, I'm passing your wisdom along to others since I have the voice right now. So consider journaling. It's a great way to be able to grow. All right, next conversation is Luciana. We already called her, Susan, and then I got one more after Susan. Then we're going to change who we're calling. Susan. Let me make sure before I do this that I mark. I should have really been looking at my other database before I called Steven. If I would have done that, I probably would not have called him. Let me just update my notes over there so I don't call him in the future. I mean, I'm happy to call him in the future. He seems like a great guy, and I'd love to be able to connect with him. And seems like he would probably refer me if he could, but it doesn't seem likely. I was actually at one point in that conversation going for a Florida referral. Let me say bought and sold. But then he said he already bought in Florida. Excuse me, in Florida. I could have maybe gotten a referral from one of you if, in that last conversation I had if one of you's in the area that he's looking in. All right, I am calling.
Hello?
Hi, hello, Susan?
Yes. Huh?
Yes, this is Dan Rochon calling. A local real estate agent. I see you were looking for some homes online.
No thanks.
Oh, you're not buying at all? All right, so that was that. I didn't get rapport with her, so we'll move on to the next one. If she didn't hang up on me so quickly, I would have said to her, "If you could buy right now, would you?" And that would have gotten me the conversation, but she was a little bit quicker than me on that. And plus, I think she overheard me talking to you guys when we started, which made it a little bit funky. I didn't expect for her to answer so quickly. So I am just updating my CRM here with her. But notate hung up on me, hung up. So what do I do with that? I'll give her a call back in a week. When maybe she's in a different place, maybe I can actually again. So I'm gonna say call. Um, Again, it's just about like I caught her at a bad time. I wasn't able to get past the barrier and she hung up on me. I give it, I still give it around me 50-50 shot. I just want to have a conversation with her. That's all I want to do. Right. Go back to the gauge of was I successful or not successful? I'd say no, I wasn't successful with her. Had the same result with the last two calls. One, I would say I was successful, had the conversation, was in rapport. The other, I was not successful, did not have the conversation, got hung up on. All right. But guess what? Does anybody see any lightning coming from the bolt striking me right now? Right? Like there's no lightning. My head's not on fire. Like you guys got that? All right. So it's like not a big deal. And I'm only like, it literally, I'd be on the next call right now if I wasn't talking to you. Right. It's just like, it means that much to me. So speaking of getting to the next call, let's go ahead and do that. Let me find them. Okay. Now, I just called Susan. All right. So then, and then I'm going to call her next week. Right. You know, cause maybe I can have a conversation with her. I think, did I call Vanessa already? I'll call Vanessa. Vanessa was looking at a lot of different properties here. Hang tight here. All right. I'll call one more. I'll call Vanessa. And then I want to go to a different, I want to maybe go to some aged expireds next. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking, I'm going to slow down here a little bit and actually do my job properly and see what I've done. All right. So it looks like I've done a voicemail and a text to her on August 6th and haven't talked to her since or reached out to her since. But she has been on my website since then, and I just missed that. So she's been on my website 12 days ago. Was that the 6th? 21, 11. I don't think so. 11. That would have been the 9th. All right. So 04. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to like give you their phone numbers. 555-1212. All right. I'm already typing into my CRM voicemail. I can always change that. So like you see, like I'm pretty damn efficient. I'm gonna then call in 2 days. All right, so I'm already like my notes are already in there before they even answer. And then if they answer, then I'm gonna change the notes.
Message for 5, 7,
That
1,
keeps me like keeps me moving, keeps me moving, keeps me moving.
7, 2.
Vanessa, hello. This is Dan Rochon, local real estate agent. You were on my website recently looking for some for homes to buy a home. I know of one that's on the market that's not on Zillow or Redfin. You may be interested in it. Please give me a call, 703-346-2776. Thank you. Bye now. All right, let me change the lead source. I'm going to go into let me go into a couple of follow-ups. I'll tell you where these follow-ups came from, and then I'll go into some cold ones on I'll go into some cold ones. All right, so this one here is an investor. He's been in my database for about 5 or 6 years. We circle prospected him on one of our listings, and then he came back to my world. He's an older gentleman. Let's see if we can get him. And he may have some, I mean, he's got a ton of properties. He may need some property management. May need some rentals. I know he's got one he wants to rent right now. He may buy, he may sell, whatever. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Or he may just not answer his phone. Hello? Hello?
We're here.
No, not you. I was there was like a weird sort of thank you for letting me know that you're there. If you're in Florida, Karen, maybe that last one could have been a referral for you. I was talking to the phone. Because I don't know if you heard that, but there was just some sort of weirdness on that. I don't know what that was. I'll call him. All right, so notes are no answer. I wasn't able to leave a voice message, and then I'm gonna give him a call back. I'll call him back the day after tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday. I'll call him back on Friday. So let me go to the next one. Call. Let's see here. Call. Wanted to share something with you guys also. Do in 2 days. Okay, great. Something to consider while I'm making these calls. Let me find my next person to dial and I'll talk while I'm doing this. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good one.
Hey,
Here
Dan, are you
is a
using the do not call list before you're calling these numbers?
yes, and you should too.
Okay.
All right, so who I'm calling next is somebody who I met at a party. So I'm telling you like where I'm calling, you know, I'm telling you who I'm calling, and I'm telling you where I get them from. And if you've noticed so far, I haven't thus far called anybody that I'm overly concerned about the do not call list, because every single person I've called so far is somebody that contacted me first. But I'm getting ready to call some. This guy here, I met him at a party. And hey, it's Dan Rochon. Hey, listen, just wanted to reconnect with you. I know that you had some family in town. I promise I'd give you a call sort of towards the end of the month, and it's the end of the month. Give me a call back if you could, 703-346-2776. Thanks. Bye now. So absolutely respect the do not call list, the can spam, all that type of stuff. Make sure you're compliant and not breaking any rules or laws or regulations. And again, everyone that I've made a call to so far has actually come in from an advertisement on Facebook or KV Core or something like that, or I already been in conversation with them, or some other reason we've been in touch. Okay, let me voicemail, and let me call like maybe two more for follow up, and then I want to get into some cold prospecting. When I get into cold prospecting, I'm much more concerned about the do not call list because if you have a business relationship with somebody, you're fine. Or if they could reach out to you, you're fine. They reached out to you. Just make sure that your website says, gives you permission to call them, that type of thing. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna call. Okay, I'm gonna call a prospective seller. This guy came in. I'm not sure exactly where he came in from. I know my ISA, my inside sales agent, had the first call with him. Let me look at the notes here. I know he's been in my pipeline for a couple of years, though. Looks like
Yeah.
Hey, James, how are you, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Just wanted to call to touch base with you. I know your tenants were gonna be leaving and your property in Detroit was gonna be selling, and just wanted to sort of touch base, see how things are going. I know you met with Jose also.
Yep, we had a good meeting and, he's gonna send me an estimate, so just waiting for that.
Okay, I'll call him today to check in on that estimate for you.
Okay,
Make sure that he's on top of it.
yeah, he seems like he's, uh, on top of things. We probably spent 45 minutes together going through this stuff.
Did your tenants leave?
They were on their way out, so, I mean, they still had a bunch of stuff to move out, so I told them that if they needed an extra day, it's fine. So, and I think I'm gonna get at least one other estimate.
Oh, sure. That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you, he recommended taking down, I don't know if you remember, Dan, but he recommended taking down the, got hanging kitchen cabinets, that kind of separate the kitchen, the dining room. And he recommended taking them down to open things up. I agree with open things up, but you lose a lot of cabinet space.
I think you got enough cabinet space in there. I think opening up would probably benefit you. I agree with him on that. I mean, and it won't be that expensive to do.
No, I'm not worried about the cost. It's just, when I lived there, I used all my cabinet space.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get another estimate. I hope to meet with the guy next week,
Okay.
the second guy, and I'll see what Jose comes up with.
When are you gonna make a decision on what to do with it?
I mean, renting versus selling.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I go back and forth. I was hoping that rates would drop before I put it on the market for sale.
Yeah. They dropped a little bit. I'm gonna tell you right now, like the last 2 weeks, I really got like my thumb on the pulse of the market. And these last 2 weeks, the market, it's shifted dramatically, where there's more activity. I had a property I just put under contract yesterday, an unusual property. It took me 30 days to sell it, and that's a really long period of time. But it was in King George, so it makes sense to me. It took me a while to get under contract, and like literally in the last 3 days, I think I've put 1, 2, 3 under contract. And so it's that's indicative of me being in the field, I can really tell the pulse of the consumer. And I'm seeing right now that there's definitely, and even that school started, it's surprising me because I would have thought a lot of times when school starts, it slows down, but it seems to be speeding up. So just to consider it.
Yeah, I just, I mean, part of me wants to rent it, see what I can get for rent. Part of me wants to sell it, so.
Well, I can help you either way.
Right, appreciate the call.
You're welcome. When should we reconnect?
I know how to reach you.
All right. Well, how about we do this? If I don't hear from you, I'll give you a call, say like maybe 2 weeks or so.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Okay. Was that a successful call? What's the definition of successful call? Rapport connection, right? Notice at the end of that call, what was the last thing he said to me? Well, the second to the last thing he said to me. I'll call you, don't call me. Did you guys catch that? And then what did I say to that? Okay, great. Well, if I don't hear from you, I'll give you a call in 2 weeks. How's that sound? Yeah, okay, great. That's the piece right there, that last little piece that I see so many agents in the conversion process miss. The prospect says, I'll call you. It's a great call. You got somebody right there who's interested at some point or another. I got your number. I'll call you. It's literally what he just said. Most agents at that point, most salespeople at that point be like, all right, that's cool. And then they wait for the guy to call them. And then 2 weeks from now, like, damn, dude never called me. And now you're chasing them. Instead, I set myself up 2 weeks from now. What am I going to say to him? What was his name? James. I'm going to say, James, hey, it's Dan Rochon. Hey, listen, we talked a couple weeks ago. You asked for me to give you a call. I'm calling you. All right. You guys see how you changed the framework of it? What many agents have is not a lead generation opportunity, also a lead generation problem. They have a conversion opportunity. And it's not necessarily even the conversion of like meet with me or the follow-up. It's the conversion with when you get somebody that's hot and they're there, a lot of times I see agents it just goes away. Right now it's gone, boom, done. All right. So let me go ahead and put notes in here on him. And now plus I got an extra reason to follow up with him. I just remembered contact Jose to get a bid. All right, so I'm going to put it. So that's the contractor I gave him. And then deciding between rent, let me say it this way, sale or rent. I don't like rent or sale. I like sale or rent better. Let me get the universe to be kind to me. All right, so I'm going to call Jose today, and then I'll do that later. No sense for me to do that right now. And then I will go ahead and then I'll go ahead and I have another reason to contact him probably tomorrow. All right. All that being said, Les, hello, welcome. How's your vacation? See, Les is here on our vacation. She told me she'd come in and support me. Isn't that freaking amazing of her? She was here. Is she here? Is she here? Is she here? No, it looks like she left. She was here to support me. Oh, she's here. She's here. Hey, do you know what list I'm calling for aged expires? Let me send it. Okay, so Les is going to send that. While we do that, a couple things I just want to invite for you guys to consider. I have a couple classes coming up. If you visit the website nobrokemonths.com, I've got a class for salespeople how to increase your influence, to strengthen relationships and achieve self-fulfillment. I got a class, Teach and Grow Rich, how to avoid the #1 sales mistake and never face rejection again. And I've got a class called The New Way to Persuade, using neuro-linguistic programming to be able to handle difficult people and to be able to influence. So if you're interested in those classes, those are live classes. They are available. I do one of the three of them every single month. And then every single Wednesday, at 1 p.m. I do this live lead generation. So there it is right there. I was able to buffer enough for amazing Les to be able to do her thing. Are these FSBOs I'm calling or aged expireds? Do we know? Well, here's the deal. I don't know who the heck I'm calling. Let's just call them. But the problem is these have addresses that are not in Virginia. Hang tight. All right, there's one. All right, there's one in Virginia. I don't know what this is. Here's the deal. I have no idea who I'm calling. I got a name and a number. We'll figure it out. Why am I not worried about it? Because what's my goal for the conversation? I just gave you the answer. It's to have a conversation. The reason for me to call is just sort of like an entry in. But I would like to know random seller leads. Okay. Can you do me a favor and tell me the KV Core seller leads, who they are? And tell me if there's any aged expireds in here on this list. Sort of a hodgepodge list that I'm looking at.
I agree. Vincent, please leave a message.
Vincent, hey, it's Dan Rochon calling, local real estate agent. I was calling you about your property here on Helmont Drive. Got a quick question for you. My phone number is 703-346-2776. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Bye now. Again, I don't know. Oh, okay. Thank you, Les. Huh. Are those recent expires or she literally, like, my list just changed like right in front of me. There's a little bit craziness there. 944. Like I don't know how she did that. Like literally, Les was able to somehow or another come into my world. She's not 100% sure and change that list in real time. All right, so this is an expired or an age expired. Let me do a quick. I'm calling. But while I do that, let me see if I can figure out who I'm calling. Hold on. Let me go to the MLS. Just for a, just to get a perspective. That's all. All right, so I'm going in the MLS. I'm searching this address. I don't know if you can hear the phone ring or not, but the phone is ringing.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hi, Kimberly. This is Dan Rochon, local real estate agent with EXP. Sorry that I missed you. I was hoping for a quick phone conversation. I've got a question about your property here in Fairfax. Give me a call, please. 703-346-2776. That's 703-346-2776. Thank you. Bye now. Okay, I did find that property. It was a property expired 3 months ago. So not quite an age expired, but hey, old enough. All right, let's go to the next one. What do you guys notice about my demeanor, my way of being right now that may be useful for you to consider when you're making your calls? Anybody have any feedback on that? Wait a second for the feedback till the phone's not ringing. But think about it. Brandon asked, I'll answer that question.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, Travis. This is Dan Rochon calling. I'm a local real estate agent. I was calling you about your property here in Herndon. Okay, would you sell it if you could get, if you had a buyer to pay the price? Hey, my pleasure, man. Take care. All right, that was an expired. So you can see a little bit of a ping, not successful because I didn't get past I didn't get past the rapport. I think that these expires are relatively recent, which is fine. You're going to get a lot of shutdowns on that. The older expires, you're not going to get as many shutdowns. Dan, have you had success with expired listing from the Bright MLS? Yes, absolutely. My first listing appointment I ever went on, I was licensed for 6 days. It was an expired listing. Okay. I did not get the listing. An agent named Brad got the listing. And It took me 3 years. I competed against Brad 4 times. And Brad, it took me on the 4th time where I got the listing and Brad did not get the listing. Now, by this time, I was an owner of a brokerage of 150 agents. I had done 109 transactions my 3rd year of business, and I did not consider myself a successful agent until I beat Brad because he beat me on my first one. Now, Brad and I go, I'm probably 60-40 against Brad these days. He's still in the business, right? And so it's really, really weird the things that we judge ourselves on, right? But, you know, for me, it was like that damn Brad, he got me again. Does Bright MLS have the seller's numbers? I don't know, Brandon. Maybe Leslie knows. I know how to make calls. Unfortunately, I don't really know how to get phone numbers and all that type of stuff, but I got a great staff that does. And I know that that's not useful to you because you don't have a great staff that does, or maybe you do. I don't know. Hopefully you do. But Les can tell us how we get these numbers. I think these are coming from My Plus leads. If you go to the website, www, oh shoot, it may not work. Never mind. We'll get it up running again. It's cheaplistingtools.com. We just changed our website. We'll write that down. Check it out. We'll have it running by the end of the day. Cheaplistingtools.com. And that has a lot of resources where we get our stuff from. This second is not. You watching this on replay? Check it out. All right. So I am calling the next expire. I only have 4 numbers here to call. So again, no lightning strikes. All right. That's no good there. So again, no lightning strikes. Had somebody I was not able to, get rapport with. That's not uncommon, right? But you just keep rocking and rolling. Hey, here's a guy calling me back. This is Mr. Beatty. Hold on. Mr. Beatty.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's Dan Rochon. Local, local real estate agent. You remember talking to me?
Tried to on a couple of occasions.
Good, good, good. Wanted to touch base with you, see if I can help you in any way.
Well, I don't think I do have now. I do have that rental that I'm getting some showings using my sign. So, and my sign is out there on Cool Springs Road that says, for rent, and then the phone number and the address, so they can drive by, see what it looks like, and give me a call. So I had 2 showings on Sunday, but I haven't gotten any action on that yet.
Would you consider hiring somebody to help you with it?
Yes, I just interviewed a lady here about an hour ago that I may be doing business with. I'm not sure.
Okay. How may I apply for the job to help you?
I don't know. How do you usually apply for the job?
I wouldn't mind meeting you in the next day or so if that'd be valuable to you, and then I can learn a little bit more about your property. And at the very least, I know, more about the property. Would that be valuable if we can take some time to meet?
Might be valuable. Lots of things are valuable in this world. But anyway, here's what the lady's going to do now. Do you do anything on social media?
I do a lot of all the tools that the Fortune 500 companies use is what we're going to be able to use for you. So not only using social media, but also artificial intelligence, big data, technology. Social media is sort of, it would be my expectation that any agent worth anything would be doing social media. I've got tens of thousands of followers. However, though I do social media at a very, very large, in a very large way, but I think that just doing social media would not be doing you a service. I would, do so much more for than that. And I'd love to be able to demonstrate and show you what else I'll be able to do for you.
Well, she's going to go MLS, but she is kind of emphasizing on social media. She's had some great success with that. Then she was going to go for 30 days, and I can cancel it anytime. She was going to do a nice video of the property and put it for rent, and so I met her there. So She's a realtor out of Colonial Beach. And
This is the one in Fredericksburg, right?
yes, Fredericksburg, 7 Creekway Lane. 7 Creekway Lane. Oh,
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if getting, here's the thing, if I may, I mean, you certainly know that I'm active, you certainly know that I'm proactive, and I'm also local as well. My office is right here in Fredericksburg. So having a local agent may benefit you. And as I respect, I think any good agent should be doing social media, but candidly, I don't think that that's all an agent should be doing for you. I mean, doing the video, that all sounds great, fantastic. But ultimately, what my job would be is to find you a renter, make sure I help you qualify them, and make sure that you can meet with them face to face before you make a decision, help facilitate that, and make sure that we get you the best renter possible.
yes, and then you do all of the, and then what's your part of the action?
We charge 1 month's rent for our services.
Uh-huh.
And
Maybe, and I've asked this lady a couple times why she only charges a half a month's rent, and then if you get a co-op, then it's a half of a half. And I said to her, I said, that doesn't stimulate much activity from, the realtor world.
well, you're a smart man for understanding the way that people get motivated. So, again, I'd love to be able to meet with you. When's a good time? Would you be available maybe Thursday or Friday or early next week? What works best for you?
I have to get back with you on that. I am going out of town Friday, Saturday this week, so it'll have to be the next week sometime. But let me do a little thinking on this other lady. Not that you're a lady, but I'm saying.
I understand.
Yes. Let me do a little thinking on what she proposed to me.
Well, I appreciate that. Why don't we do this? Would you want to just like maybe tentatively book an appointment? Because again, without even, I appreciate considering what she can do, and but to not have a perspective, it's just one person that you're considering. And if you're considering a choice of one, then you're not really considering. If you,
I've been doing it
I know,
with the renters for a long time.
I know.
Taken out of my hands. And that's the tough part, man, for me to hire somebody that I've been doing,
I would look at us partnering on it together. I wouldn't want you to feel like you're getting taken out of your hands. I'd want you to feel that you're using me to leverage me. I know you've got tons of experience doing this and you got tons of properties. But I would want you to look at me as somebody that can do the heavy lifting so that you can make the decisions. Does that make sense?
Of course it makes sense, yes.
Okay. So how about we just put something on the books for say Tuesday, and if you decide to cancel before then, I wouldn't mind. Well, then that way, we at least have it on the books.
Well, let's pass on that, and let me do some thinking with this lady. I mean, here, let me ask you something. And I know you can't answer for her, but what if I were to put a bonus? Do they allow bonuses nowadays for finding a good renter?
If you were working with me and you made that suggestion to me, I would say that you're a smart man to do so.
All right, well, that's what I was thinking, instead of a half a loaf.
Yeah.
Co-oping brick or broken oil. My understanding in this business, even though there's August 15th, they can't even put in the information as to the commission.
Yeah, with the rentals is a little bit, that is true with the sales. With the rentals, we could just ask that anybody that's representing a renter to propose what they want for their compensation. And then we can, negotiate it to make sure it makes sense for them and makes sense for, more so for you.
Sure. But in the rental world, is it? Have you ever suggested a bonus?
Yes.
Did that work out?
It worked out in the landlord's favor.
Oh, it did.
Yes, sir.
So, say, up the grand or whatever the bonus was,
Yeah.
commission that was listed.
Yeah, but as you know, the cost to a landlord is the vacancy more than the investment of, cost of sales, that type of thing, or cost of rent rather.
Yeah, well, the positive cash.
Yeah. 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 That vacancy is what's going to kill you. When should we reconnect?
Call me next week,
Okay.
see what it looks like.
All right. What day next week would you like for me to go give you a call?
Just call me at your leisure.
I'll give you a call Monday at 3 p.m. Will that work for you?
Fine.
Talk to you then.
Thanks for the call.
My pleasure. Goodbye. All right, guys. So we went a little bit longer than what I was hoping, which is not just a couple of minutes. You don't think rentals are a waste of time? No, not at all. I think that me getting a relationship with somebody that owns more than 25 properties is probably about the best use of my time I could imagine. I would, like at some point, this gentleman, and he's getting older, he's going to end up selling. I want to be his guy. I don't look at anything in business as a waste of time. I look as an investment of time. And I know that when I don't consider, I am be just as aggressive, just as proactive, just as invested into his rental as I would a $3 million listing. I really, truly would, because I know through time that when you're invested into helping others and serving others, it all works out. That guy talks a lot, LOL. Yes, he does. I thought the NAR Summit took away bonuses. Anything could be offered. I mean, it's all about the way that if the seller wants to make that offer directly, that's nothing to do with me. What I can't do is offer my compensation. He can offer whatever the hell he wants to offer. I can't offer my compensation, and we can't advertise what he's offering in his thing there. All right. I think, all right. Somebody, what are your ahas? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? And make sure you put this on your calendar for next week at 1 p.m. And if you want to learn how to get more coaching, how to get more direct coaching from me, go to my website, nobrokemonths.com. At the top of there's a button that says, yes, I want No Broke Months. Click on that. You can find out how I can help you in real life. What are your ahas? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings you'd like to share? Every week at 1 p.m. Yes, sir. What did you discover today?
How you say bye now?
I know. Who discovered, even like with that last guy, like how many times did I take a shot at the appointment?
Many.
Right? Like more than once, right? And oh, by the way, did I get an appointment with him? I did, Monday at 3 p.m. Right? Don't miss that. I did get an appointment with him. I didn't get the appointment I wanted to get with him, but I got an appointment with him Monday at 3 p.m.
Yeah,
Alberto,
I
what
like
you
the
got,
way
my
you
man?
did that. I like the way you did that, Dan. Like, even though he said next week, you still kind of made sure that he, in his mind, knows what day to expect your call and what time. So
Yeah.
it's like you're doing, you're a serious person. You're showing you're a professional. You're not just saying, okay, I'll call you next week. And it's just in the air. And then he's not going to know if you call him or if it's you. So I think I appreciate that. That's really good to keep in mind, because this is the follow-ups business. So good on that.
That's what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done with this. I'm going to do a calendar invitation. I'm going to send him a calendar invitation in 2 minutes for Monday at 3 p.m. Because he just asked me to call him at Monday at 3. Did you guys hear him ask me to do that?
Yeah, it's going to help him remember too.
Yep. Right. Most agents wouldn't even gotten the Monday at 3, or wouldn't even gotten the next week. Right. It's about taking and making sure you never, ever, 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 ever leave an appointment, a phone call, a consultation, a face-to-face with somebody without setting the next time and date that you're going to reach back out to them. If you just get that from this conversation, you just improved yourself dramatically. Always a time and a date. Always. You just got to sometimes figure out how to do that. And sometimes you got to dance. Sometimes you got to box. But guess what? Do you think that guy appreciates me as a professional, like Alberto said? It seemed like I'm being a nuisance in the way that I wasn't going to give up on it. He can respect and he can understand a professional. A professional is going to do what I just did. It's what I want you to do. You guys good with that? All right, guys, thank you for attending. Thank you for everyone on YouTube Live. I can't see you, but comment in here one thing in the comments that you learned today, or comment on what you'd like to see next week. And join me on Facebook Live at the No Broke Months YouTube channel. If you're not on that YouTube channel right now, subscribe. Go to the YouTube NoBrokeMonths.com. Everybody, have the best day of your life. Be grateful. Make good choices. Go help somebody. And I'll see everybody next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. God bless you.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.